Zelensky and Xi Jinping hold long and meaningful call. It's their first since the war in Ukraine has begun. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky held a phone call Wednesday, which is the first time the two leaders have spoken since the start of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Zelensky confirmed the long and meaningful, quote-unquote, conversation in a statement saying, "I had a long and meaningful call with Chinese President Xi Jinping. I believe that this call, as well as the appointment of Ukraine's ambassador to China, will give a powerful impetus to the development of our bilateral relations," he said. There has long been a Chinese embassy and consulate in Ukraine, but it appears both sides want a fresh start in relations. It's further being reported that they agreed that China would send a special representative to Ukraine to hold talks with all parties on resolving the crisis. During the call, references were made to the possibility of future negotiations. Beijing has been putting itself forth as a possible mediator, giving Xi Jinping a 12-point peace plan published in late February, but which has yet to gain traction either with Moscow or Kiev, and according to more from Bloomberg, based on a call readout statements from both sides, Xi Jinping says negotiations are only solution for the war in Ukraine. They're the only solution. And he also says China is willing to boost ties with Ukraine. The phone call between Xi Jinping and Zelensky showed that China attaches importance to growing its relation with Ukraine. Yu Yuan, an official at the Foreign Ministry, says at a briefing in Beijing, China is highly concerned about humanitarian conditions in Ukraine. China says no timeline yet for the special envoy's visit to Ukraine, and China does not say what other nations the Ukraine envoy will visit besides Ukraine. Now, additionally, the time of the phone call is a likely attempt to smooth over relations after Beijing ambassador to France, Liu She, sparked intense controversy across Europe when, in a weekend interview, he questioned the sovereignty of post-Soviet countries, saying that they don't have actual status under international law. Okay, the countries that were under the USSR, he claims, don't have actual status under international law. How is that possible? Now, China had quickly backtracked, calling statements of the lone ambassador merely a personal view, and this after Baltic countries, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia summoned their Chinese ambassadors for an explanation. Statements of denunciation flew from other European officials and capitals as well. Beijing Ministry of Foreign Affairs then issued a following clarification in follow-up on Monday, saying China respects the sovereign status of the foreign Soviet countries after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the spokesman Mao Ning said. Mao said Beijing's position is consistent and clear, but gave no indication whether Liu's comment was considered incorrect. And this is from Zero Hedge. Please leave your by Tyler Durden. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.